You've nailed your insulin. You're fasting, avoiding sugar, keeping carbs low. Your blood sugar's stable. Your diet's clean, and you're doing everything the internet told you to do. But you're still hungry all the time. Still storing fat around your middle. Still feeling like your body's working against you. Here's why. You've been fighting the wrong hormone. Everyone talks about insulin like it's the only player in the game. But there's another hormone, one that's supposed to tell your brain, hey, we're full, stop eating, burn some fat. Except it's not doing that anymore. It's screaming at full volume, and your brain can't hear a word. It's like your body's fire alarm going off while everyone's wearing noise-canceling headphones. Today, you're about to meet leptin, the hormone that controls whether you feel satisfied or starving, whether you burn fat or hoard it. And once you understand why your brain stopped listening to it, you'll finally know how to fix what's been broken. Let's find out from the inside. Your body has a built-in weight control system. It's supposed to be automatic. Eat when you're hungry. Stop when you're full. Burn what you don't need. Simple, elegant, foolproof. Except somewhere along the way, the system crashed. And nobody told you how to reboot it. Picture your brain as mission control. It's got a whole team managing your energy budget. The hypothalamus is the operations manager, calm, calculating, making calls about whether to spend energy or save it. Your fat cells are the accountants, tracking every calorie like it's tax season. And leptin? Leptin's the messenger, the one running between departments, carrying updates from your fat stores to your brain saying, we're good, we've got reserves, you can relax. But here's what's actually happening. Your fat cells are producing leptin. Tons of it, actually, more than ever. They're screaming, stop eating, we've got plenty stored. But your brain, it's not hearing anything. The messages are arriving, but they're getting lost in translation. It's like your fat cells are sending emails to an inbox that's been full for months. Notifications piling up, all marked unread. So your brain thinks you're starving, even though you're not. It cranks up hunger, slows down metabolism, and tells your body to save every calorie like it's preparing for a famine. Meanwhile, you're sitting on stored energy you can't access. This isn't willpower. This is leptin resistance. And until you fix it, nothing else matters. So how did this happen? Let's meet the players and see where the system broke down. Leptin is supposed to be your body's thermostat. When fat stores go up, leptin goes up, telling your brain to eat less and burn more. When fat drops, leptin drops, telling your brain to eat more and conserve energy. It's a feedback loop that should keep you balanced automatically. Should. Think of leptin as your body's accountant. Professional, detail-oriented, sends daily reports to headquarters. Here's our energy status. Here's what we've stored. Here's what we can afford to spend. When the system works, your brain reads the report and adjusts accordingly. Metabolism speeds up. Appetite drops. Fat burning kicks in. Perfect. But here's where it gets interesting. When you eat too much, too often, especially the wrong stuff, your fat cells pump out more and more leptin. At first, your brain responds. But eventually, it's like that car alarm that goes off every night at 3 a.m. After a while, you don't even hear it anymore. Your brain develops leptin resistance. The hormone's still there, flooding your bloodstream, but your brain's receptors are worn out, desensitized, basically hanging up the phone. Now your brain thinks you're in energy crisis mode. It doesn't see the leptin signal saying we're fine. So it does what any good survival system would do. Makes you hungry, lowers your metabolism, tells your fat cells to hold on tight. You're stuck in a biological trap. Your fat cells are yelling we're full, your brain's reading we're empty, and you're in the middle eating more while burning less. And yes, insulin matters. High insulin keeps fat locked up. But if your leptin's broken, even perfect insulin won't make you feel satisfied. You can fast all day, but if your brain thinks you're starving, you'll be white-knuckling through hunger that shouldn't even be there. It's like driving with the parking brake on. You're doing the work, but half your power's fighting against itself. This is why you can eat perfectly and still feel hungry 2 hours later. Why you can cut calories and your metabolism just slows to match. Why fat loss feels like pushing a boulder uphill Your brain's operating on bad information. And until you clear the signal, you're fighting your own biology. But here's the good news: leptin resistance isn't permanent, and the reset is faster than you think. So let's talk about how the system breaks down in the first place. Every time you eat, leptin spikes a little. Your brain checks the signal, processes it, responds. Eat again 2 hours later? Another spike, another check. Again at hour 4. Your brain's like a customer service rep answering the same question 50 times a day. Eventually, it stops picking up. This is the snacking trap. Not because of calories, but because your leptin signal never gets quiet enough for your brain to actually listen when it matters. It's like trying to have a serious conversation at a concert. Too much noise, not enough signal. Your receptors just tune out. And then there's sugar. Fructose is the worst offender. It triggers fat storage in your liver, which pumps out leptin like crazy, but in a way that your brain reads as static. Think of it like a bad phone connection. The message is there, but it's garbled. Your brain can't make out the details, so it defaults to probably need more food just in case. Ultra-processed foods do the same thing. They spike reward signals in your brain that override leptin's "you're satisfied" message. It's like leptin trying to whisper over a loudspeaker. The biological signal gets drowned out by the psychological one. But here's where it gets interesting. When you stop eating for 12 hours, leptin levels drop slightly. But more importantly, the constant signaling stops. Your brain's leptin receptors get a break. It's like finally turning off notifications. The system can recalibrate. Your brain starts remembering what real hunger signals feel like versus background noise. By 24 hours, something shifts. Your leptin's lower, yes, but your brain sensitivity is climbing back up. It's like adjusting your eyes after being in a bright room. The dimmer light suddenly becomes clear. Your brain starts hearing the actual signal again. Oh, we do have fat stores. We can use them. This is when fasting becomes a reset button. Not because you're starving yourself, but because you're giving your signaling system space to remember how to communicate. And sleep? Deep sleep is when leptin does its best work. Miss sleep, and leptin drops while hunger hormones spike. Your brain reads this as emergency mode. Get 7 to 8 hours consistently, and leptin signals start landing like they're supposed to. Clear, strong, heard. Movement amplifies everything. Exercise, especially resistance training, makes your brain more sensitive to leptin. It's like turning up the volume on the right frequency. Your muscles burn energy, your brain sees that demand, and suddenly, leptin's message makes sense again. Yes, we're using energy. Yes, we can afford to release more from storage. So now you know how it breaks and how it heals, but knowing isn't enough. You need a system that works with your real life. Before we fix this, let's kill 3 myths that are probably keeping you stuck. First myth: eating less fixes leptin. Actually, chronic undereating makes leptin resistance worse. Drop calories too low for too long, and leptin crashes. Your brain panics, slows metabolism, and hangs onto fat harder. It's not that you need to eat less. You need to eat better and give your signaling system breaks to recalibrate. Fasting works, starving doesn't. Second myth: willpower overcomes hunger. When your brain isn't getting leptin signals, hunger is biological, not psychological. You're not weak. Your body genuinely believes you're in danger. Fighting that with willpower is like holding your breath underwater. You'll lose eventually because biology always wins. The fix isn't more discipline, it's better signaling. Third myth: just fix insulin and everything else falls into place. Insulin matters. A lot. But if your leptin's broken, perfect insulin won't make you feel satisfied. You'll have stable blood sugar and still raid the fridge at 9 p.m. You need both systems working. Insulin controls what you store. Leptin controls whether your brain knows when to stop storing. Fix one without the other, and you're still stuck. Here's what actually happens when you fix leptin sensitivity. You don't have to force yourself to eat less. You naturally want less. Food stops calling your name from the kitchen. That I could eat feeling that lingers all day? Gone. Your body finally trusts that it has enough. And when your brain trusts your fat stores, it lets you use them. This is the difference between white knuckling through hunger and genuinely feeling satisfied on less food. One's a fight, the other's a signal that finally works. Your body thinks it's doing you a favor by keeping you hungry and slow. It's trying to protect you from what it thinks is starvation. But once you restore leptin sensitivity, your brain realizes, oh, we're fine, we've got plenty. That's when everything changes. Not because you're trying harder, because your biology finally lined up. So how do you actually do this? 3 rules. That's it. The first thing you need to do is create signal windows. Give your brain 16 hours without food every day. Not forever, just until your sensitivity resets. This isn't about starving. It's about quiet. Your leptin receptors need downtime to remember how to listen. Think of it like rebooting your router. Turn it off, let it rest, turn it back on, and suddenly everything works better. During your eating window, eat real meals. Protein, fat, fiber. Foods that actually satisfy. Don't graze, don't snack. Let each meal do its job, then step away. Your fat cell accountants need clear reports, not constant interruptions. Next, you've got to cut out added sugars, especially fructose-heavy stuff like soda, fruit juice, and ultra-processed snacks. These jam your leptin signal faster than almost anything else. Whole fruit? Fine in moderation. The fiber slows absorption. But liquid sugar, high fructose corn syrup, anything that hits your liver fast and hard, that's what's keeping your signal scrambled. Clean that up, and you'll notice clarity within 3 to 5 days. Not weeks, days, and sleep. This is non-negotiable. 7 to 8 hours, dark room, cool temp, phone away. Leptin resets during deep sleep. Miss sleep, and your leptin drops while ghrelin, your hunger hormone, spikes. You wake up ravenous, and your brain's back in emergency mode. If you're sacrificing sleep to meal prep or work out, you're sabotaging the very system you're trying to fix. Sleep isn't lazy. It's when mission control recalibrates every system you just fixed during the day. Add resistance training if you can. Lift heavy things 2 to 3 times a week. Muscle makes your brain more leptin sensitive. It's like upgrading from dial-up to fiber optic. Better reception, clearer signal, faster response. Here's the mistake to avoid. Don't yo-yo between extreme restriction and binges. That teaches your brain that food is unreliable, so it holds on to fat harder. Consistency beats intensity. Steady beats severe. If hunger's still crazy after 10 to 14 days, check your sleep and stress. Cortisol can override leptin fixes. You might be doing everything right nutritionally, but living in fight or flight mode. That'll keep your signal jam no matter what you eat. So there it is, 3 rules that work with your biology instead of against it. You came here frustrated, doing everything right but still hungry, still storing fat, still stuck. Now you know why. Your leptin signal was jammed. Your brain couldn't hear your fat cells saying we're good, so it kept you in survival mode, holding on to every calorie like your life depended on it. But now you've got the reset protocol. Clear the signal windows, cut the noise, protect your sleep, and watch your body finally start trusting that it's safe to let go. You're not fighting hunger anymore. You're restoring the conversation between your fat stores and your brain. This isn't about willpower or discipline or eating less forever. It's about fixing the communication breakdown that made everything else fail. When leptin works, appetite drops naturally. Metabolism stays awake. Fat burning happens without the constant mental battle. Your body was never broken. It was just trying to protect you with information it couldn't hear. Fix the signal and everything else follows. Not because you're forcing it, because your biology finally remembers how to listen.